Shadow of the Colossus is up there with my favorite games, and I know I'm not alone when I say it's a piece of video game art because, well, it's a pretty well-known fact at this point. This game changed my perception a lot, and became an instant classic within my friends group. Like, we still say stuff like, it's just like Shadow of the Colossus, when something small is fighting something big.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Anyway, I played this back on the PS2, but I kinda missed out on the PS4 version because I was studying abroad. So let me tell you, I was happy to stumble upon it in the chip bin of games at the local game shop. The intro is the first sign that the game is about to be peak. It shows a boy riding his horse for days. Weeks even. He goes through all kinds of environments until he finally makes it to a gate, then a bridge. A very tall bridge too. As he arrives to some kind of temple, he first has to go down a huge flight of stairs and makes it into a giant hall. We realize he carried a body with him, and he lays it down on the altar with great sadness in his eyes. I encourage you to check out this whole cutscene yourself. Up to this point, it has no talking and the music is absolutely breathtaking. Anyways, a mask goes on to speak in an obscure language, describing the region we just arrived in. He continues by saying that, in that world, it is said that if one should wish it, one can bring back the souls of the dead, but it's strictly forbidden. Back in the temple, we realize that the body belongs to a young girl, and now understand the boy's plan to disobey the ancient laws to bring his love back. Shadows sprout from the ground, but they get blown away by our blade. A distorted voice comes from the ceiling, surprised to see we carry the ancient sword.
I love you owe you. Dormi, ifo, alu yula. Ostu hailwa wuku aikwa. Ujisu hiazu tsudoko. Was nordekyo wuti yula. I will answer. Auli, you item. Dormi, cute. Izu, anatuku. You echoes you. Edwin, no ku. You are no, you do, or you could. Uranora. Reason could come to you are a
Dormin says bringing the girl back from the dead is possible, but to do so, we need to destroy the idols along the wall. Of course, it's not that easy. The only way we can break them is by getting rid of the Colossi, that are the incarnations of these idols. Defeat all 16 of them, and our wish will be fulfilled. Dormin also talks about a price to pay, but we don't care. We're determined to do whatever it takes. He finishes by saying, we just need to raise our sword by the light and follow it to find the next Colossus on the list. Alright. We know exactly what to do. On to the first Colossus. We learn how to ride Agro the horse and get launched right into the beauty of the game. We follow the light towards a canyon and learn basic parkour. We meet with number 1, the Minotaur, and it all gets back to me. We have a bow we can use to shoot towards him and grab his attention. He doesn't lose any time and tries to squash me, but a quick roll and we're out of the way. Dorming backseats us a little bit to explain how to find vitals or weak points. So we start by stabbing this guy in the ankle to make him kneel. That way we can grab onto his butt hair, I guess. I didn't think too much about it when setting up my camera, but there's a stamina bar behind it. When you grab and climb with R2, this circle gets smaller, and when it's empty, you let go and fall. So managing your stamina, it's like the key feature of the game, to be honest. We managed to reach the conveniently placed platforms on his back, and Arofo tries real hard to shake us off. From there, we can simply keep climbing on the top of his head and start stabbing. We can lift our sword by pressing square, then stab by pressing it again. The longer you keep your sword up, the more damage you're gonna do. There's a maximum amount though. It's a bit like gambling because it kind of forces you to greed to make the most of every hit. But when you ready your sword, you're not grabbing and you can fall super easily. A few hits is enough to bring down Colossus number 1, and as he falls, shadows exit his body and stab us unconscious. We somehow make it back to the temple as a shadow watches awkwardly. As we wake up, the idol shatters and Dormin lets us know about the next foe. Before we go, we get a quick reminder that we can rest and save at these altars and head west. We cross another very thin bridge for the second time today and get down on the beach. The wall shatters and number 2 makes his entrance. This one walks on all 4 and looks like a bull. He doesn't really care about us. He's pretty chill. I remember from when I was a kid that his weak spot is located under one hoof, and shooting it makes him trip. During that window, we can grab on his leg and start climbing. Just like number 1, I immediately run towards his head and start stabbing. Gotta make sure I hold on after every hit though, or I'm going to be sent flying. After a few times, the weak spot disappears, which means I have to find the other one. I just carefully run back and stab him at the bottom of the back. This time, it's enough to drop him and we get another taste of the shadow. I now have 2 stalkers after I get back to the temple, and statue number 2 shatters. After that, Dormin starts talking about the next Colossus. Okay, well, it's gonna be like this for every boss. Quick description from Dormin, ride aggro towards the light, fight the Colossus, defeat it, get shadowed, teleport back, and statue explodes. Next. Colossus number 3 is iconic. He's the one from the cover art. We take the bridge again, but keep going into the desert. We enter a rocky gate and arrive in some kind of marsh. Agro can't swim, so I have to continue on foot from here. We run up to the giant platform/arena and wake the knight from his nap. He has a stone sword attached to his right arm and will take his chance trying to squash us with it. The strategy here is to trick him to hitting the center of the arena, which is sturdier than the rest. He will hurt himself and break some arm protections, so we can climb it. Next, we need not to panic when he's about to swing and run up the sword. We have to be quick though. Let's get it. No! Ah. Whoa! That was close. I'm not okay. Once we manage to do so, we can grab his arm and start climbing. I start by making my way towards the head. There's always one there. Next, we just need to drop down on his conveniently placed platform around his waist and stab him in the belly button. He starts dancing like Shakira, but it won't help him. That's 3 for 3. From now on, I don't really remember what I need to do as clearly. We ride south, through a cave, and make it to some kind of strange underground structures with 4 exits. Inside is pretty simple, it's just tunnels connecting the 4 exits. Number 4 is hanging out a bit further down the meadow. This one looks like a giant horse and doesn't seem to have any grips to start climbing onto. I hide inside the tunnels and Dormin starts backseating again. Basically, we have to trick this guy into looking into one exit, get out from another exit, and then climb from the back. It's a bit awkward because you have to make sure that he's on top of the tunnels when you do that. Anyways, once we get on his back, it's just one weak spot to make him lower his head, and then another one to lower his HP. That's it for the horse. Probably my least favorite so far. Before leaving the temple, I spot a lizard with a shiny tail and remember that eating those increases my stamina. I head east towards a very grim lake and get welcomed by a flying Colossus. I dive down and try to approach him. I'm kinda confused at first, but I shoot at him and climb on his wing as he's flying in my direction. These are some serious turbulences, and as I stab the first weak point located on the tip of the right wing, my stamina just runs out from grabbing for so long. That was great, let's do that again. Thank you. I can't believe I'm not... Yeah, I was about to fall. Okay, this time, take my time. On my 4th try, I managed to stab the mark located on the left wing and the one at the tip of the tail. That was the hardest one so far, in terms of managing stamina. That's 5 down, 11 more to go. We ride southwest and enter a thick forest. I understand that save altars all have lizards and get a little stamina increase. Then keep riding until I reach the desert and some kind of underground temple, but a big one this time. I don't really have a choice. I reach the bottom floor and meet with number 6. This bearded dude just breaks the walls around the temple as I'm running from my life. As I hide at the edge of the room, he bends over to try to find me, and I just grab onto his beard. How disrespectful. I start stabbing his head and climb down the back to reach the second weak spot as he's shaking it like a Swiftie. This one was very easy, but fun nonetheless. The shadows catch me and the crowd around my body is starting to get serious. That was number 6. On to the next one. We cross the bridge again, and I admit I kinda got lost on the way to this one. We reach a strange structure and jump down the water to get a better look of number 7. It's a giant eel with electric poles on its spine. When I'm swimming on the surface, it tries to shock me and then dives right back down. What we need to do here is wait until the dive and grab onto the tail. Then just be patient. Under the water, just keep grabbing. Whenever it swims near the surface, we can close towards his head. We just need to remember to grab right before we get underwater. We quickly get rid of the first weak point and stab it, which turns the electricity off for the nearby pillar. We managed to get rid of the second mark easily, and then almost drowned, so we have no choice but to let go. This feeling of having a giant monster swimming under is terrifying. Anyway, we do this a second time and manage to turn off the third pillar and start stabbing the head. Number 7 just sinks down the lake as we're teleported back to the temple with our audience. Before I head to number 8, I find some fruit which increases my HP. As we follow the sword, it takes us to a shrine. We have to parkour our way down here until we reach some kind of circular pit with a giant salamander at the bottom. I go greet number 8 with some arrows, but quickly understand it's not the strategy here. I get up the stairs and start shooting at the Colossus from another floor. He shoots clouds of poison and start climbing towards me. I try to shoot his legs and manage to make him fall. From that point, just rush back to the bottom and stab. We hurry back up and do it all over again. I get rid of the first mark and climb back up for the third time. Third time's the charm indeed, as I finish number 8 and get shadowed back to the temple. We're already halfway there. Southwest of the map, I make a beautiful jump because I couldn't find my way around and reach a valley full of geysers. Number 9 is pissed to see me here and instantly starts to shoot at me. Here, it's pretty obvious we need to lead the giant turtle towards the geyser, wait for it to spray, and shoot an arrow into his paw to trip it. After that, we can get on top of the shell and go straight for the head. He only has one single weak spot and we can just one-phase it. That was no problem. One of the easiest colossi. Honestly, the way there was much more difficult than the boss itself. Number 10 is hidden in a cave located in the very west of the map. This sandfish is swimming underground and we need to figure out how to lure him out. I actually get my first game over here, trying to figure out what to do. I guessed it had something to do with the rocks laying around the room and I tried to get him to break all of them. At some point, as he's chasing me in aggro, I shoot him with the bow and he hits the wall full speed. I reckon that's my chance and quickly get on his back for a few stabs. I realize that I got lucky last time, but yeah, I need to aim for the eyes. As he hits the wall again, we take care of the second weak point and send number 10 to the grave. 6 more to go. We head back north and find a small temple in a crater in the middle of the desert. We make it inside and get greeted by number 11. This one is smaller than everything I had to fight before and just keeps bullying me. It doesn't hurt a lot though. There you go. It doesn't hurt. He's not very dangerous. Bro, let me stand. I can't even stand. You okay, buddy? What I need to do here is climb the pillars on each side of the room and wait for him to hit it. I can pick up a wooden stick from the brasero, and once I light it back up and make a torch, I can scare him with it. Okay, sorry. He drops down the hill and reveals his bare back. Time for a short rodeo to get rid of his single weak point, and it's another Colossus of the list. This one was really fun, one of my favorites for sure. We follow the sword inside the jungle, then into the mountains. We reach another lake up north and awaken something from the depth. Number 12 is a big guy that shoots lasers. It doesn't hit me if I'm underwater, but I can't seem to find a way to climb on him. The lake also has 3 little shrines where I can rest after all that swimming, and it actually took me a little while to understand that, but basically, you have to hide behind a wall, go around the Colossus, and climb from his back. From there, I just have to make it to the top of his head and hit the teeth he wears as a crown to control his trajectory. We want him to get near a shrine and jump off on its roof. Number 12 will get annoyed and try to get us with his hands, revealing his weak spot on the belly. As much as I thought the teeth mechanic was fun, I didn't really like the part where we have to go around pillars. It was annoying. Anyway, 3 times the charm again and we're getting closer to the end. After number 12, we get a cutscene. It shows a group of humans riding towards the Forbidden Lands as a vortex opened up in the sky. And one of them is wearing the mask from the intro. We ride southwest and make it to the desert. There's a small ruin caught in a sandstorm, and as soon as we reach it, the ground starts to shake. A huge flying bug-looking number 13 flies up from underground. I remember this one actually. It left me a big impression. Okay, so this guy has white balloons on his belly that we need to pop with arrows for him to touch the ground with his fins. From now, we have to speed towards them to make our way to his back. The first mark isn't that far and we take a few stabs at it. He will barrel roll to try to shake us off as we're trying to make it to the second mark. I managed to reach it, but he puts his protection on and dove into the sand before I could do any damage. I tried to cheat my way up there, but the game denies my genius. Time to do it again, I guess. We stab weak point number 2 and again get denied access to the final one. And again, 3rd time's the charm. Number 13 crashes into the dunes and I decide to take a nap by his side. This time we head far towards the west side of the map and make it into ruins that remind me of a pre-Columbian civilization. Shortly after we arrive, number 14 awakens. Oh, I remember that little guy. I don't remember what I have to do though. I run around the area and try to find something to climb or whatever. Whoa! Okay, so far so good. He's not very dangerous. Yeah, okay. I finally find a place to climb and make my way up a stone tower. I taunt Kitty with arrows until he loses patience and dives headfirst onto the tower. He breaks it and opens the way towards more parkour. It takes me to another tower and I get him to break that one too. And another one. And another one. And another one. Until I reach what seems to be the final tower. A new area is open. I get on top of the platform and use the same strategy, hoping this dum-dum would learn by now, but no, it still works. Number 14 gets his armor taken off by the rocks, which means it's time for a rodeo. This one was fun, but a bit repetitive, I guess. Must be fun to speedrun. Almost done. Number 15 hides in the ruins of a giant city. He sneaks up on me and starts chasing me. So I run around, trying to figure out a way to climb up, since it seems I can climb the structures on each side of the area. This took a while for me to figure out. Basically, we have to stand on the edge of the stone platform and get him to floor it. Unfortunately, I get blocked again on the first floor, not knowing how to get to higher ground. I get stuck here for a while again, until Big Guy finally decides to swing at me and destroy the roof so I can keep climbing. On top of the bridge, I'm waiting for him to go underneath to jump down his head, but he actually destroys that too. That's fine, I can still manage to do it. I stab a weak point on his right arm. This isn't a mark that decreases his HP, it makes him drop his weapon. There's a weak spot on the palm of his hand. Anyway, I fall down but manage to get back up there. I stab his bold spot a few times until he only has a tiny bit of HP left and head for the hand. The way down there is difficult, but I manage to climb back up as he tries to squash me and finish the job. This was probably the one that took me the longest to figure out with number 12. Alright, we only have one Colossus left. Number 16 is the last one on the list. We follow the sword and it takes us to a strange stone door. Reflecting the sword's light into the sigil will open it, and as we're trying to jump over the ravine, Agro falls to his death in a very sad scene. I remember this scene, made me so sad as a kid. Anyways, we have to keep our goal in mind and keep going without looking back. We climb and climb some more until we make it to a stormy mountaintop. Number 16, the final boss, is on another level of huge. We get hit right away and have to use the tunnels to get closer to him. It's not easy though. Oi! After careful timing to avoid the fireballs, we finally reach the base of the Colossus. We're literally under it. From now, it's simple. We climb. It's pretty straightforward until we stab his lower back. Number 16 will reach out to grab. This is when we transfer to his hand. Get up the arm and hit a second mark to get to the other hand. This part is difficult because it requires perfect stamina management. This guy never stops moving and we can't get a second to rest. Took me many tries to figure out what I was supposed to do after I reached the right hand. I need to shoot the mark on his left shoulder before I can continue to climb. Time for a few stabs on the brain. He doesn't really like it, and I can tell it's the final boss, because he won't stop shaking. It's really difficult to find an opening. Anyway, after many stabs, number 16 is vanquished, and my quest to eliminate every single Colossus comes to an end. Remember the group of humans we saw earlier? They made it to the Forbidden Lands and inside the temple. Lord Aemon and his men witness the last idol shatter as we are teleported back near our beloved. Now that our mission is complete, we look like a zombie with blue skin and bright glowing eyes. As they threaten me with their weapons and lecture me on my actions, I get shot and impaled, just like the Colossi. A fountain of black liquid surges from my wound as I struggle towards the girl. I take it off and turn into a complete shadow. We control Dormin and decimate the man. It's not really easy to see though, the size difference is pretty massive. It's almost like we trade roles. A few of them manage to escape, and Aemon casts the ancient sword into the temple's sacred pool. We get sucked towards it as we slowly turn back into our normal self. As they leave, the giant thin bridge shatters, and the girl actually does wake up, confused. She walks around and meets with an injured Agro, who seem to have survived this fall. Credits roll, and they're really cool. They show each Colossus in order, or rather what's left of them after their defeat, giant piles of dust. We see the tribesmen leaving the Forbidden Lands, as well as Agro and the girl approaching the pool only to find a newborn baby with horns in there. The three of them make their way to the very top of the temple and discover a beautiful garden full of life. The game ends in the same fashion it began, with a hawk soaring through the clouds. This brings me back to the main menu, where I can choose between New Game Plus or continue with my save. I check out what continue does. It takes me back to the beginning of the game, but now I can try out time attack challenges for every Colossus I want to fight by bowing in front of their respective idols in the temple. I also want to point out that beating a certain amount of time attack challenges will reward us with some cool stuff like a cloak that turns you invisible and explosive arrows. Before I end this video, I want to say that I absolutely love this game and you should play it if you haven't. It's short, it's fun, it's beautiful, it's truly an amazing experience that you won't regret. I guarantee it. I was hit with a lot of nostalgia, and this makes me want to replay Echo and The Last Guardian. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate your support. I can't believe how many of you are subscribed to the channel now. I'm really happy to share my work with you, and it keeps me motivated to keep going. Like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought in the comments. Okay, bye!